There's a lot of unanswered questions in the Pokémon franchise. While the games are pretty straightforward and excessively enjoyable, there's always been a few moments in their narratives that have left fans pondering how this world filled with these pocket monsters came to be. So of course, this led to plenty of fan theories, many of which are based in reason and logic within the world, and are actually pretty damn plausible. So today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Pokémon fan theories. And heads up, some of these get pretty dark. And at number 10, Professor Oak sent you away to get with your mom. In what is one of the more common theories out there, and one with not a whole lot of evidence aside from the fact that Professor Oak is super eager to get you out into the world of Pokemon, is a theory that discusses the whole reason why you're sent off to become a trainer. It's due to Oak's manipulation, so that he can get with your mom. He's convinced your single impressionable mother that the best way to give you the life you deserve is to let you become a Pokemon trainer, by sending you out into a dangerous world filled with wild Pokemon with only one barely trained Pokemon at your side. Totally rational, all cause he wants to get some. And at number 9 is Ditto is a failed clone. Moving on to a slightly more depressing theory, let's take a look at Mewtwo. Mewtwo is the product of a scientific experiment with Mew, an attempt to recreate Mew with genetic material. As many fans have speculated, Mewtwo can't be the first attempt at this, which has led to speculation that Ditto was the product of that experiment prior to Mewtwo, or as some see it, another kind of experiment with Mew, using its DNA to create a much more powerful Pokemon capable of transforming into whichever Pokemon it desires. The arguments behind this are that Ditto shares the same color as Mew, and that it can be found on Cinnabar Island. Up next, number 8, coughing and wheezing. Speaking of scientific experiments, let's move on to another theory based on that, this time to do with coughing and wheezing. There's speculation that the duo are the result of an experiment gone wrong by Team Rocket when they were trying to create their own kind of ghost Pokemon. The logic behind this? Well, they're found in the Pokemon Mansion, which is an abandoned laboratory, and don't appear in any other regions in the blue, red, and green games. In addition to this, coughing has a symbol on its body, the symbol for poison, which is a human symbol. So how would a human symbol end up on a Pokemon created naturally? They must have been branded, especially considering their toxic gas. And if they did occur naturally, well, that means some humans branded them after the fact. It doesn't seem entirely believable because that would require a lot of branding and hunting them down. And at number 7 is Blue's Raticate. There's a theory that in Pokemon Red, Blue, and Green, Blue's Raticate dies, while in Lavender Town you find Blue in a graveyard. In the Japanese version of the game, he asks Red if Red knows what it's like for a Pokemon to die. Then you battle him. But what's he doing there to begin with? Well, in this battle, it's the first time he doesn't use Raticate. And when you last battled him, it was on the SS Anne, which you leave before the ship leaves the dock. So there's a rumor that Blue didn't get off, and Raticate died from the wounds before getting to a Pokemon Center, which is why Blue is at the graveyard mourning. Up next, number 6, your dad is Gym Guy. We'll be discussing more on the absence of adults, specifically adult males, a little later on in this list. But for this number, let's specifically take a look at the fact that in the games, the only parent present is your mother. Almost every Pokemon trainer in the series is missing a father, and you're no exception. But this theory speculates that your father is there all along. He's actually the gym guy who appears in all of the gyms in Kanto. He guides you, calling you champ in the making, and is really adamant about your success. So the theory states that this guy abandoned your mom when she was pregnant with you, Red, and because of the guilt he carries for not being there for you, he devotes himself to becoming your guide at the gyms, despite not telling you what his true identity is. And at number 5, Unova was inspired by 9/11. Some fans have compared the map of Unova from Black and White with one of New York's Manhattan, noting the geographical similarities, except for the fact that Unova's center has a massive desolate wasteland called the Midtown Desert in it. So fans have compared this to post 9/11 New York City, with parallels to the Brooklyn Bridge, Central Park, and a massive financial district at the very bottom of the map. See the similarities? This led to speculation that the Midtown Desert is ground zero, especially since there's a bunch of construction workers in the area when you travel through it. This particular theory has upset many fans, for very valid reasons, but there are some undeniable similarities. Up next, number 4, N is a Zoroark. Zoroark is a Pokemon that is capable of casting illusions. Fans have connected the antagonist N, who appears in Pokemon Black and White and Black and White 2 as the puppet leader of Team Plasma, to a Zoroark, with the suspicion that he may be a Zoroark using his human identity to further his own and Plasma's agenda of a separate world for Pokemon and humans. The logic behind this? N was raised amongst Pokemon. His speech patterns are strange, almost as if he were trying to copy the way that humans talk. In Black and White 2, you follow a Zoroark into some ruins. where you then find N, and his hair is kinda similar to his Zoroark's. On top of that, it's not unheard of that Zoroarks appear as humans from time to time. And at number 3 is Ghost Girl. The Ghost Girl appears a few times in the series, and is placed in with intention, so it's definitely not just someone at Game Freak slipping this in. In Pokemon X and Y, a ghostly girl appears in Lumos City, and this happens. In Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, a similar moment occurs, with the Ghost Girl making the same statement at a cemetery, and possibly making an appearance during the Elite Four fight with Phoebe, where there's a glimpse of a ghostly shape on a chair behind her as the image fades out, and then the camera reverses and moves as if it's coming from the POV of someone getting out of the chair and walking closer. Then there's this. So what does this all mean? The quote, "You're not the one," perhaps pertains to a specific trainer ID, since all players have different IDs. Additionally, another theory speculates that she has something to do with the note you find at the train station in X and Y that says, "Meet me in the usual place," and that she was a murder victim of a scorned lover, and that the two Skiddo waiting outside of Lumos Station are hers, or her lovers, and are waiting for one of them to return. The last bit about the Skiddos though seems unlikely because of her appearance in both of the games. She appears in 2 games that are set at very different times of the Pokemon timeline, meaning the Skiddo would have had to have been waiting for a really long time. Up next, number 2, Pokemon were created by a nuclear war. This theory suggests that Pokemon are the result of deformities created by nuclear exposure. All other animals are killed, except for the ones infected, who end up evolving, and then scientists go on to clone them. They're eventually accepted by humans, but some see this theory as a byproduct of our next number, that this nuclear explosion led to the large population of Pokemon, and smaller amount of humans you encounter in the game. And finally, our number 1 spot, the Pokemon War Theory. In one of the most popular Pokemon theories out there, the War Theory is based on the fact that there's barely any adult males in the world, let alone adults in general, and the ones who are there are either very old or have a job related to the military or crime. You also don't have a father, as we mentioned previously, with no explanation as to where he is. There's a whole lot of children preoccupying this world, all of who are coming to age and starting to travel out to train Pokemon, and then Lieutenant Surge tells you that electric Pokemon saved him during the war. So that confirms that there was a war in Kanto, leading fans to speculate you and Blue are part of the first generation of people to live in peace post-war. You lost your father to it, and your rival lost both parents. Alright, there we have it, friends. Which of these theories do you believe? Are there any theories we didn't mention that we should include on a part 2 of this list? Let us know in those comments below. And if you dug this video, please show some love and hit those like and subscribe buttons. And hey, if you want more gaming vids, why not check out our recent uploads playlist on our channel. In the meantime, thanks for watching. I've been Kelly Pally, and this has been Top 10 Gaming. I'll catch you all in the next one.